there are some lineups at times where the other team just will not have the right damage profile, but in the big picture of it all, just loses. Will probably shine individually, but the Alpha just make sure that you shine as a whole.
Again, I'll stand by the fact that Alpha is the Alpha and Omega of the draft right now, especially the jungle. More often than not, it's a stable hero, damage profile, picks no day.
Fan is open though.
Fan is open, yeah.
Respect begets respect. Go ahead, Wicked, if it's available for you. Recall that we've actually seen Yue on the choke, so we go for the Phoebus instead. So Phoebus first pick means Cambodia will probably leverage the Alpha plus either of the power EXP rogue flexes. High loss. They can go high loss Alpha here to really be a big lead on that Phoebus. But there have been some teams where once they see the Phoebus, they lock in a mid laner alongside the power, and there it is. It's Aurora Alpha, which will make Saudi Arabia think twice about going for the high loss now that they see the Alpha and the Aurora on the other side. Not that it's a counter to the high loss, more of just like it's kind of annoying for high loss to deal with. Definitely not go for the Hilda. I think after Kacha is what they might have their eyes set on, but actually no, they have to take the high loss. They have to take it.
High loss Nolan?
Yeah, I'm okay with the high loss Nolan or high loss Alpha if you haven't already with you. The high loss can protect the jungle for the high loss Fanny if you haven't already locked it for you.
Do you think it's too early to pick up the Fanny though, considering only 2 heroes have been shown from the side of Cambodia? I mean, there's still a Cho on the board.
Not the Nolan, right?
Yeah, there is a Nolan. Is it
high loss? Oh no!
Oh, they go for the Eve instead. Okay.
Cambodia high loss here. Just stop that Nolan dead in its tracks.
Yeah, you already immediately give the high of a combo.
And you work with the RWM.
They're not going to do that. Maybe they just think about picking up the Valentina now, or no. Instead in the EXP, you already see the matchup between the two. They said, hey, we don't need to pick the high loss, or Saudi Arabia might not even ban it, but they should.
They're showing a lot of emphasis on shutting down Rafa, right, on the Nolan. I think that's the direction that they're going for. Technically, Cambodia can still ban out the high-lows in the second phase if they want to.
No, it's open for them still.
Yeah, we want it for
They want to contest it.
Yeah, they want to contest it.
They'll waste Saudi's ban.
Yeah.
They're first on the clapback after the bans.
If they ban the high loss here, I would, I'm not going to hate it, but I would kind of question it. At the same time, looking at the lineup of Saudi Arabia, high loss plus the Eve together, you can set up for a Harith gold lane. Maybe that's where the thought process that might be in their heads. So if Cambodia bans out the high loss, maybe that's what they're thinking at too. They know the take early because of the dive. They might be going dive here, honestly. There have been Hariths that have shown they don't care about real world manipulation.
Yeah, Cambodia might be the ones to pick the Harith here in Red 4 if KSA ban out the high loss. Because they want to get rid of the high loss if anything.
Yeah. It's a happy Phobius, but a very sad Phobius at the same time with the presence of the Aurora Alpha. That would, despite all the dashes on the side of Cambodia, as long as their gold laner has a right damage profile.
And Rafa's Nolan has no true targets as of the moment, right?
Yeah.
You have the Hilda, get away from you. You have the Aurora, which has 2 life bars, basically.
It's not as clear cut, definitely.
It just plays the map better.
Ooh, that's interesting. Saudi Arabia are the ones to actually ban up on Moscow here. I figured that maybe Saudi Arabia want to pick it up for themselves, seeing that despite being in a losing matchup, they still will go for the Moscow. It's a huge power pick for Lunar.
Yeah.
But considering this Moscow being banned out, it does kind of make sense, right? It's a gold laner that can kind of stand on its own in the gold lane, especially against an assassin like the Nolan.
In the group stage, they have brought out a carry. So if ever there is a high loss from Cambodia here in Red 4, they can revert to the carry, and even if it is an out-of-meta pick, I don't see anything wrong with that here.
Oh, they banned it.
They read into it!
Wow, okay. Gata Irithel, high loss Irithel are options for Cambodia. It's not going to be the Harith that they go for. I'm thinking that either
Cambodia's telegraphing the high loss so hard.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Irithel or Harith for the gold lane. I feel like could work best.
For Saudi Arabia or Cambodia?
For Cambodia. Saudi Arabia, if they decide to go for Echo Dive.
Can Lunar pick up a 1-1 here, ban out the Irithel?
Oh, it should be okay.
Yeah, my only problem with the 1-1 is the targets aren't ideal right now.
Yeah. Especially with okay, they banned out the Godron, so high loss Irithel or high loss Harith. Just like that in.
High loss.
That's a shoe-in for early to begin power spike.
Yeah. Literally almost nullifies Rafa's goal.
I mean, I won't take it away from Cambodia if they say, hey, let's just pick Rafaela. I mean, that would be a bad thing too.
What's the situation happened there?
Not so great against the Nolan.
She picks up the high loss here?
Oh. The hero I would rather not see picked into a Phobius as Arlot. Again, teams are starting to telegraph it a little bit more, where not all the time Arlot will lose to Phobius compared to a month and a half ago. At the same time, you're a formation breaker, you get your prizes set up. Maybe that's what they're running at. Who's going where? This is are they playing the Hilda into the Rome?
No, I think it's Hilda XP.
Hilda XP and then Rome Arlot. Interesting flavor of choice.
So does Saudi pick up the high loss?
They have the Edith now.
Oh, there's no room. There's no room. That's definitely your roam.
The gold lane.
Oh, yeah. They can still pair it. It's a lot of magic. There's the one mentioned for the winner. I feel like the Arlot popping up just made the 1-1 an even better pick. Because if that was any of the slower, very frontline heavy roamers or frontliners that we mentioned, yeah. So they still lock in the air though. One pick off, just a different approach for the Arlot, which weirdly enough again feels like the 1-1's a bit happier. This feels very up in the air for me. Just trying to run, like especially with a roam mid trio duo. That is a battle of execution, 100%.
Shaky, right? Arlet against Phobius is a horrible lane, but so is 1-1 against Irithel. So maybe they're trying to just bounce that in. Arlet plays safe up top, wait for team fights. But ladies and gentlemen, here it is in a best of 3, our second one today. It is us into the land of Dawn. Rafa on a signature assassin, but let's see how the hell that does in Rome, right? We have seen it more in XP, but it's been a Rome pick for the longest time. Usually though, when you see it in Rome, you see it more with sprints, not with Revitalize.
Yeah, you know, I think I have to echo those concerns that our panel mentioned, and part of this could also just be, you know, Mochi. Whoa, okay, wow.
Yeah.
Okay, Yui's gone. Even with the Revitalize, first of blood already for Rafa. I'm not sure what the game plan was there. Even without because you just mentioned it, without a vengeance, without a sprint, you're and if you get caught out, you're done for.
It was way too weird of a rotation. I think Uwe kind of opened up the purple buff, tried to predict that they were going to go on and start on the purple buff, and then failed to do that. Uwe, at least they get the lead though.
Yeah, she is back. That concussive blast won't get that little bit of extra damage, but this is what we expect from a Hilda. You know, this is this kind of pressure.
Yeah, but again, I feel like Uwe saw the purple buff, read into it, walked in, didn't see anyone there, rotated to orange, where again, you should probably just stay in the purple buff when that happens, you know? Rotating over would just reveal too much of your game plan, and everybody was able to just rotate across the map. And especially considering, again, mid lane control is already held down by the Edith and Eve. They're going to have much of a better time here just shoving the wave in, unless Uwe comes in and rotates to mid. But then you are still not really a counter to Nolan. Now you're a counter to the Eve, and I think Eve can take all that smoke any day. Recall under turret, doesn't really need to farm all day, just shove wave and recall.
Yeah, that's all you kind of have to do. I think even with that, you know, the concern in this particular matchup, as we're going to look at, you know, for Machi and Lyrics here, this Phobius versus Arlot, part of the job can just be, you know, let it be a dead lane for Machi, so to speak, and then just rotate, join those fights, utilize that final slash the best you can, you know, and kind of play around that.
And I don't know, man, the pick, it seems to be very, very counter Nolan, but the positioning and where they're actually holding on to the map, Uwe is not doing it right now. She had the position on the orange buff. She knew that Nolan was going to come in, and now she's placing herself in towards the neutral objective where it's going to be a battle.
There's the toss up. Pink going to find it. RWM set up from Livin 2. Frigid Glacier going to freeze them in. UA will go forward, but she's going to be bursted down even with a Revitalize. Couple of hits, they'll buy some time. Finally goes down. Pink in the exchange as well, and there, Infernal Pursuit won't be enough. So it's only Yui that goes down and all that. Again, Revitalize a big part of it. So Cambodia will get the objective, and they just duke it out. You know, they just made things work, and it was unfortunate Saudi Arabia couldn't cap out the kills that they had set up.
Luckily for Cambodia, they still have an amazing composition when it comes to just team fighting here with the Arlet that we mentioned, the Aurora, and the Alpha, right? Alpha still clears really, really fast, and the fact that Rafa didn't get shut down in the early game is definitely a concern, but as long as Alpha continues to just clear out the jungle, get this level lead, and hold on to Turtles with the help of Arlet, should be really good. And again,
bottom Lunar in trouble. Already popped that sprint. Yui should go down here as Livin picks up the kill. Yui Fendi still trying to get away. There's the lockdown. A good Frigid Glacier, but Rafa will avoid it. Yui Fendi popped that sprint earlier, allowed them to go ahead and set up that kill to get Lunar down.
Yeah, the Irithel versus 1-1 matchup is certainly a very, very tough matchup for the 1-1 here. You essentially just need to farm at that point if you're the 1-1. There's no way they can actually outplay the Irithel if it's a 50-50, if you're both as good, is what I'm trying to say, right? And for Irithel, Yui Fendi, all you need to do, it's so simple. You have to be much better than the Irithel on the 1-1. She's got a Ducati, like
which is weird because we say sprint. Maybe we should, if it's a Ducati skin, maybe we should say she's rev.
Yeah.
She's revving.
She's revving with a sprint. I don't know how that will work, but
I just thought about that just now, actually, because we've seen a couple, you know, Ducati Irithels come through, and yeah, I think sprint
all the
obviously.
Irithels.
Yeah, actually, all the Irithels. They're gonna make a play up top now. Lyrics, will she be able to survive this? Spear of Alpha gonna find the connection under the turret. Vengeance gonna be popped. Frigid Glacier won't find what they're looking for. And Lyrics, she's still up. 1 versus 4. Here comes Rafa to come up and clean up a kill with a fracture. She picks up a blade of Hepsies too. And I am so surprised that Lyrics survived that.
The Vengeance, the constant demonic force procs, and again, I feel like a bit of the lack of synergy there. A lot of miscoordinated timings on the abilities. Final Slash away from the Frigid Glacier. The combos just did not land, and it gave Lyrics just more time to actually rotate around, to just pop in front of Pursuit. Once you don't have the stun locks, you can just keep on tapping, man. That's all.
That's all you do.
That's all you do on the Phoveus. That's why it's a very, very big concern when you see the Phoveus pick, especially when you try to go up against, go up against it with an Arlet, right?
She doesn't even have a first. That's surprising, right? She doesn't even have her first item.
No
Locked in.
item.
That was all Brave Smite and Vengeance.
That was just pure brute force, is what I like to call
Literally.
it, right? That was just Saudi Arabian power. Pink.
Pink going in for the setup. Yui trying to get away. RWM is set up, so those are some big, big usages coming out. Turtle's going to be started up though. Tagami waiting. She has the Spear of Alpha. Navi as well can actually initiate this fight if she wants to. We'll see if this time around they will land that combination, the Frigid Glacier, and hopefully the Final Slash doesn't take them out of it. Cambodia really taking their time with this turtle here. Well, she does go in. There's the Final Slash on Rafa. Rafa's going to be able to get away. There's also a 1v1 up top. Lunar will get that kill. And now Lyrics jumping in again with the Infernal Pursuit. Tagami secures the turtle, but Tagami finally goes down. And they're looking for more on the hunt. Conceal going to be used. I don't think Pink or Rafa can clean up another kill. So trading all over the map here.
I can't believe he just got outplayed like that. Navi forced to flick around. Oh, pulled down.
Lyrics, she does get the passive. She's one hit away. Oh, Navi will punish Lyrics from going into between the tier 1 and tier 2, but they will get that tier 1 turret in the mid down.
All right, nice. So let's calm down real quick.
What is
Listen,
happening?
we gotta talk about it. Cambodia, we were talking about their composition being really good in these fights. They baited out RWM, no Primal Wrath, and they lost the 4v4. But I think what's more surprising is the Iritha lost in a 1v1 against the Wanwan. Yui Fendi got soloed by the Lunar, by Wanwan. She had Inspire. Did she have Inspire?
She did, yeah, she used
She
it.
inspired. She got to the last weakness point somehow, some way. I guess for Yui Fendi, maybe she used the heavy crossbow aggressively.
Yeah.
That's one of the only angles I can see as to how an Iritha would actually lose out of that matchup. So, possibly a mistake. Yui again on the Hilda. Ow.
She's gonna get chased down. RWM is just overloaded with damage. A great usage just with real-world manipulation and Lyrics just dunking with the Infernal Pursuits here. This is getting really dicey for Yui because she's got 4 deaths. She even used a Revitalize there.
Not a good look, definitely, here for the Hilda Roam. We were talking about it already, right? XP lane is usually where we see her, so she can actually get more farm and get level 2 quicker, and then rotate across the map and look for plays. Look to shut down the Nolan. I think that's the big question. Rafa, it has not been shut down.
Rafa, is this actually... Oh, Final Slash. Not going to connect on Rafa. Rafa just gets away. Of course, she had to use the Fracture, but right now the focus is tier 1 turret. Lyrics might be able to get there in time, but turret's going to go down. Rafa, the damage is quite there. Not enough, though, to clean up the kill, and now this time, Rafa trying to buy some time. Lyrics a little bit too late. Great usage, again, of that sprint, that rev we were talking about this time around for Yui Fendi.
Wow, Rafa escaping from all those skill shots, dodging away, and then walking back up into the turret. Man, definitely too aggressive. Nabi got assassinated by Lunar. Pops in the Inspire. What happened, Nabi? A bit overextended as well here. No turret in the mid lane, so definitely overstepping without the help of a traditional roamer. Because again, Yue is playing in the flanks. Tagami.
They're going to go for Tagami. Tagami in trouble, trapped into RWM again. She falls, and now Yui Fendi trying to fire off the heavy crossbow on the backside. Livin and Lunar trying to get away. They disengage. Rafa sees them in their sights. Is she going to go in forward? Moshi tries to keep them at bay. She'll do that. They're going to be resetting here. We might be in store for a Lord fight. Full-on fight here, waiting for Tagami to come up, but they're just going to give it a go signal. Green lighting the Lord. They'll start it up. Saudi Arabia wants the objective, and without the jungler of Cambodia, they can't do anything about it.
They can just take it down. Really good stuff from Saudi Arabia. Really punishing all the unnecessary moves and overextensions from Cambodia here. A bit too overconfident, definitely there. Tagami just walking into that bush knowing that Navi was just picked off in the mid lane.
Yeah.
So walking into that bush, knowing that most of the members were already there to look for a counter setup, to look for an ambush as well. And the fact that they still went on to chase, you can see how Saudi Arabia are just able to build their lead. So far, they've just been capitalizing on the mistakes of Cambodia, and that's really good for Lunar especially. This is a losing matchup against the Iritha, but Lunar has been phenomenal on this 1-1 pick. And now notice how they're managing the waves. Really good stuff. Bottom lane will just slow push. They will shove into mid and top to push in together.
Oh.
And that's a Sky Piercer for Rafa. The final slash for Moshi.
Yep, Moshi just trying to clear that out. Wow. Last little powered minion there. Lunar gonna go really forward. Pops the crossbow of Tang. Does a little bit of damage, and there's RWM again. Tagami jumps in on the backside. They get frozen right, caught in the choke point. Lunar still keeping Tagami at bay. Pink fell in the exchange, and Rafa goes in to clean up a kill on Yui Fendi, and now on the hunt for Moshi as Moshi falls. A double, a big pickup for Rafa.
That's 2 stacks on the Sky Piercer for Rafa. The cleanup crew with the real world. Oh!
Under the turret they go. They pop the passive of Navi. Navi in trouble as Lyric will clean up that kill. Turret's gonna go down, and Yui in trouble as well as she's taken out of the picture. Tagami left all by herself, and Saudi Arabia will just work on the base. They might get a kill, they might not. Minion's gonna be cleared out, so Cambodia will stay in it. Still one wave pushing in top and mid. But it looks like Cambodia stays in the game.
That's still ridiculous value for the first Lord, man. Kraken open a base turret, all the tier 2s down as well. Oh, Lunar might be able to get the outplay. She's already gotten the last 2, or the last 1 weakness point you need, and that's the one behind them. Tagami's got to respect this. Lunar is at a very, very strong point of the game right now. Tagami still gets it. All right, no punish from Saudi Arabia. All right, so let's talk about it right now. Far lane control, definitely going to go towards Saudi Arabia, not just because they have the super minions, but they also have the Nolan. So in terms of mobility across the map, Cambodia really won't be able to match the side lane pressure. They'll be able to clear it out once, but it's an auto slow push every single time. So not only can Saudi Arabia take control of the Lord, that's going to be spawning in 30 seconds, but they can also just try to look for a split push in the bottom lane.
I'm impressed, you know. Saudi Arabia has still really kept their tier 1 mid lane turret from basically taking no damage. They maintain that, and that's what gives them that little bit of an upper hand.
Unbreakable.
Yeah, unbreakable. Gives them that little bit of upper hand into this next Lord. You know, we're 15 seconds away, and Cambodia, they might want to look for their own pick-off if they can, just to give them that little bit of advantage. Yui Fendi will pick up the Malefic Gun. She's ready to go, locked and loaded. But I still think, you know, one of the biggest weak points here with this lineup is that Hilda, how do you get to where you need to be in a team fight? Hopefully also because we see a lot of backline pressure, but then at the same time, she's the revitalize. You also need to provide that for the team, and this Lord is just gonna get blitzed right now. Saudi Arabia making quick work of the Lord, and nothing can be done from Cambodia, so Rafia will secure that. Now Saudi Arabia with a full force will get ready to march in the base.
That's the force error we were talking about with the super minion wave constantly spawning in the bottom lane, shoving it in, actually slow pushing it in towards Cambodia. They have to choose whether they want to go bot, concede their neutral objective, or to stay decisive, fight for a neutral objective, and maybe possibly lose the game towards an end from Rafa. In the end, they chose to just defend, the safer option in the bottom lane. Now they're going to have to deal with Enhanced Lord, though. And at the minimum, I would say, if Saudi Arabia are able to manage the waves in time, it should be the last 2 base turrets falling down as well. In Cambodia, in terms of clear, they're really not too good, you know? Yui Fendi, probably the only guy can actually be the clearer.
Yeah.
Navi's more of a team-fighting mage, not a good wave clear tool for Cambodia.
They're gonna have to make this work. Lord down on the bottom side, all waves pushing in mid and top. There we go. The final slash already used from Moshi. So they'll make work. They clear out a wave. They clear out the Lord. Cambodia still holding it together for now. I'm not sure if Saudi Arabia actually wants to force a fight. Next wave's now pushing in and powered up. They dropped to RWM. They want to force them off of the turret. And that mid base turret finally goes down. Next site, the top. Can Cambodia continue to defend?
I don't know about it. It looks really, really tough. Final Flash connects, but it's only on the pink.
It's only on the pink. Pink jumps in. Look at the damage already. Flicker. Navi's still alive. She still has the passive finally being popped. Pink could be in trouble. And Navi finally goes down, and Rafa will get punished. Cambodia trying to defend. Tagabi jumps on in. They're falling apart here as they run him on down. Yui Fendi trying to get back to base, dealing with Lyrics. Has to rely on Tagami. Tagami jumps in. They have enough damage, and they will survive. It's a double for Yui. They wiped out Saudi Arabia, and Cambodia survives and makes the favor for them.
The angle? No, this is unendable. No, they cannot go for the end right now, but the waves in the mid lane surely could be cleared out. They can probably get 3 turrets here. mid lane, bottom lane, possibly with the wave there. But unfortunately, I don't think they're going to be able to manage it in time. Tier 1 and Tier 2 is probably the best that they can get at this point, right? No more outer turrets in the bottom lane.
Yep.
We'll see, though. Rafa and Pink are up 2 base turrets down. They will be looking, 2 turrets down. They'll be looking to go towards the bottom lane to get the outer turret. But the base turret's still left untouched for Saudi Arabia. Cambodia are unable to get there.
Okay, they tried to get the orange buff. Not going to happen. Rafa takes that, secures it with the Retribution. We're 20 seconds away from the next Lord. But with that defense, there's a conceal. Do they want to force the fight? They didn't want to let them go back to base. Yui in trouble. They drop down the Frederick Glacier. And Rafa goes for Yui Fendi, but she pops the Wind of Nature. She's still alive. Moshi finally falls. Saudi Arabia still full force. They took 2 members of Cambodia down. The conceal play worked for Saudi Arabia. Now the Lord is up.
Look at the timing. Lord is up, but they want to just go for the base.
They're just going to go for it. Tagami, defensive Spear of Alpha. Lunar leading the charge. She pops the Wind of Nature. Yui's gone. She's taken out of the game, and that might be it as Saudi Arabia just takes the win. They take the base, and they'll take game number 1.
GG Saudi Arabia. You can hear the crowd go in support for Saudi Arabia with a win here. 1-0 up in a best of 3 against Cambodia's full counter draft. But it was misplaced. Again, I think the way that they played it as well, man, very disoriented. The Hilda, all the way from the start, dying first blood, not able to get any pressure down on Nolan. So we saw just how much of a threat Rafa was in the early game. That's not really what I expected after seeing the Hilda on the other side. Alpha pick into the Hilda, you see the Nolan, and you're just like, oh, Nolan's gonna have a tough game. But